So I think the first thing is curiosity. Curiosity is really important because it's easy to think, oh, it's April again. This is what happens in coffee in April, and this is. But actually, my experience is every year is different. Every year, we're looking at some different metrics. There are certain things we looked at which were really relevant last year, which are no longer relevant. And, as you mentioned before, it's difficult to get sometimes, I think that is a big problem in coffee, that we don't have a consensus on the historical balance sheet. I don't think that's a good thing. I think there needs to be more consensus. We don't, unfortunately, have, a USDA grains type of situation where you can point to a data series and you can say, well, I don't agree with all of it, but I broadly agree with the kind of historical picture. I think that is a disadvantage for everybody, because you might be right, you might have a perfect balance sheet, but it makes absolutely no difference if nobody else has one, and if nobody else knows what the real historical kind of underlying balance sheet looks like. Right. So I think curiosity for sure, and just a desire to keep learning and keep looking for new data. Coffee is one of those things where suddenly you do see some data on something that you never saw before. But also I think it's important in coffee to not just look at numbers. I think it's important to really kind of just speak to people. I think that's also, I think these are all, traits that are important for a trader as well. Connection with the product, connection with the people, sort of understanding the kind of tangibility of it, very, very important. And I think particularly on the research side, as much as you need somebody who's very analytical, there's a danger of getting very caught up in, let's say, an academic approach to something, without understanding, how and when you should disseminate that information to your colleagues on the commercial side, for example. That's one of the big advantages, that anybody who has had that humility has understood certain things that have gone on, during the pandemic, during the logistics crisis, in a much better way, because certainly we had to take the approach of, well, we really need to learn about this, because we need to be able to interpret what's happening. I think humility is obviously a huge important quality in life, but it's particularly important in coffee statistics.
Yeah, well, if you're not humble, you will be after you study coffee statistics for a little while, right? Yeah.